What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel. This is our review for Before the 90 Days, the Tell-All Part 1. I'm back here with my
Yes.
main man, Dustin. How are you doing this evening, Dustin?
Oh, I'm doing better. Thank you, Jonathan, so much for the weekend. I was having a rough week this week was a really rough week for me. So thank you very much for always being there for me. Thank you very much for that.
You're
Mm.
very welcome, Dustin. You're very welcome. So just right off the top, I just have to say this, and I told Dustin this backstage before we started recording this evening. We saw a side of Niles this tell-all that I did not expect to see. I was happy
Mhm.
that he was more talkative. I was happy that he seemed as though he did not have a disability, as in the autism that he currently has, but. I thought that he was putting his foot down way too hard. I did not like the way that he was interjecting himself so forcefully into everyone else's conversations. But that's what the couples do in these tell-alls. They kind of involve themselves in everyone else's situation. But the
Mhm.
way that he went about it, I did not like that at all. But let's
Right.
get let's get this thing started, Dustin. We're going
Yes.
to start with Vanya and Bojo. Is it with
But yeah,
JS?
Vanya and Bojo. Yes. Yes.
Vanya and Bojo. So Vanya and Bojo, she went to his country they had been dating online and she went over to his country. And when they were with his friends or whatever, they were like, oh, so are you guys in a relationship? And he said, no, we're just really, really good friends. And Vanya didn't like that. Vanya did not appreciate the fact that he was not claiming her as his girl. And eventually they broke it off. Now they did not talk to Jasko on this particular part of the tell-all. So I'm assuming that we're going to get to him in either the second or third part, if there are three parts in this tell-all.
I think there's going to be three parts of the tell-all. This
Okay,
episode.
all
There's
right.
going to be three parts.
But so Banjo or Bojo, whatever his name is, he was he was very nice about the situation. He denied the fact that he told her that he loved her, and then right in their confessional, she brought out the text messages showing that he said, "I love you," and then he actually texted her and said, "You didn't tell me that you love me today." And so it's kind of hard to understand why it was that he got into a relationship with her. And he then actually said the reason why he did not pursue an actual relationship with her was because he felt like he was out of her league. Which is a nice way of saying, I think you're too pretty for me. I don't think that I'm on your level, or we're on each other's level.
Mm-hmm.
However, that would not be a valid explanation, at least for me. I
No,
would
it's
not
not a valid.
appreciate someone
Mm-mm.
saying that that's the reason why they don't want to be with me. Because first of all, I probably wouldn't believe it. But second of all, I think that would be a cop out for you, an easy
Right.
cop out for you to use to make it so that your hands are clean and you have no wrongdoing in the situation at
Mm-mm.
all. But Vanya was very animated during this part of the tell all. All the other couples sort of kind of got into the conversation and things of that nature. And not really much to say about Vanya. I'm sorry to say this about Vanya's dress, but I was not a big fan of her dress.
Neither
Um,
was
I
I. So we're on the
I.
same page with that.
I, I was just not a big fan of it. But a lot of times with these tell-alls, some might expect for these to be housewife reunion type dresses, but they just do what they want to do, with the exception of Nikki a couple of seasons ago.
Right.
She went all out for her tell-all dress, and I freaking loved what she wore. But
Yeah. Mhm.
and I see Robin in the chat. What's going on, Robin?
Hi,
So glad
Robin.
you're here, boo. Um, and so I don't really have much to say about Vanya
Mhm.
and her relationship. Dustin, what did you think of his reasoning for not wanting to be in an actual relationship with her? And do you think that he was leading her on, or what do you think might have been the real reason why he didn't want to actually make it
I
official
think
with
he
her?
was. I think he was leading her on since day one.
Mm,
I don't think that he wanted to be with her. Period. Point blank.
mm,
When the show even began, I don't think that he wanted to be with her, and I don't think that she. He don't. He don't deserve her, Jonathan. Uh, you need to be truthfully honest with the person that you are cutting. If you're cutting them out of the relationship, what why are you doing it? That wasn't a good enough reason for me to. That was like a good enough reason for me to process it, and I don't like that because I like to be truthfully honest and open with the person, Jonathan. And it's like I can't sit there and I can't process it. I don't understand it. They didn't really get into it, so I can't really say much about that part because I didn't really get into it. So I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the whole situation there. I didn't. I think he could have done better, explaining what he meant. But she deserves better than him. Hmm.
Right. He really didn't give much of an explanation. Really, he was kind of talking in circles. Oh, yeah, that's just, hey, Lady Virgo. I see Lady Virgo in the comments. So good to
Hey,
see you. Thank
Libergo.
you so much for joining us. He was trying to, kind of use terms that he might have heard Americans say. And, he was trying to say, oh, I was just being cute or I was just being nice to her. And, all this kind of stuff. But he was saying, like, I wasn't meaning what I was saying. And then he gets up and walks off the set. And, that didn't surprise me whatsoever. It didn't seem like he was really comfortable with being on air. It didn't seem like he was
Right.
comfortable with being on TV.
I
I'm
don't think he.
thinking,
I don't think he was comfortable being on TV. Period, Jonathan. I
right.
got that. I got that feeling from when he got introduced on the show. I don't think he wanted to be on camera.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit of a private person, which I understand that, but I don't
Right.
understand. I don't understand why who signed up for the show because I don't know if she signed up or he signed up, but he didn't feel. I could tell he wasn't comfortable being on camera
Right.
uh, from day one.
It was, and that also might have been the reason why he broke up with her, because he just wasn't comfortable being on camera, and I completely understand that. And if you're in a relationship with someone who is on reality TV, understanding that if you're with this person, you're going to be on camera. Really, you can't stay with them and not be on TV. So they
Right.
have obligations that they're contractually obligated for, and
Correct.
so therefore you got to be on, or you just kind of
You
either
you can't. You got to
you
be on
can.
there. You got to be on there. You can't be together. That's my point. You can't
Right.
be together. You can't be. I mean, you're on a 90-day fiance show, so you're basically obligated to be on the show, or you with can't be with her. Uh, I don't understand the. I don't understand. I just don't quite get that situation. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do a really good job of explaining himself, and that's why I wanted to start off with them, because in my frame of mind, because they didn't really have much of a relationship, there's really not much to talk about between the
Nope.
two. But I did like how vocal Vanya was throughout the entire tell-all. I
I
like
did
how she
too.
was standing up for Tiger Lily, even though I didn't think it was that necessary. But I like the way that she was sticking up for Tiger
Mhm.
Lily and for Faith as well. And speaking of Faith, let's move on to Lauren and Faith. So Lauren and Faith have revealed to us that they are actually back together, unfortunately.
Not
Now, when
surprised.
right to everyone's surprise.
Not surprised.
Now, well, I was surprised, to be honest. I
Oh,
didn't
you
think that
were? I
Faith.
didn't think. I
I
thought
didn't
you
think that Faith would take him back. I thought that she was done with him, and even after watching the show, I thought watching the show would allow her to double down on her decision to actually leave him. But
were.
apparently, Lauren and his ways. I don't. I think it's because Lauren is one of her first loves, and she doesn't know anything but
First
Lauren as far as a
relationship.
relationship. Right.
Mhm.
Because she doesn't know anything outside of Lauren as far as a relationship is concerned. That might be the reason why she's holding on to him, because she feels as though if she's not with Lauren, then she won't be able to find love in the Philippines where she lives. And as Faith was saying in one of the last episodes, she doesn't feel safe as a trans woman, especially living where she lives. Although in the
Mhm.
Philippines, there is acceptance for the LGBTQIA plus community. There is a RuPaul's
Right.
Drag Race that takes place in the Philippines, and to be honest, I think they have some of the best drag in the
I did.
Philippines. It's very opulent, it's very expensive looking, it looks very good, and so I feel as though Faith could find love in the Philippines, maybe just not the kind of love that she's looking for. And I'm thinking that maybe she's actually interested or maybe more attracted to American men. I don't know what the case is with her, but
Uh,
Sean Robinson did ask her if
mhm.
they were still engaged. And Faith took it seemed like a whole minute before she answered and said, "No, we are not engaged." And Lauren gave some cockamamie excuse as to how he
Mhm.
misplaced the ring, said that he put it in a box and the box got misplaced. And, once she got the box in the Philippines, that the ring wasn't there. And Lauren is just a liar. And I'm
I
so glad that everyone on the panel, every one of the other couples was saying,
agree.
why are you laughing all the time when your girlfriend is literally over and sitting next to you in tears? You've got a freaking smile on your face. And his explanation was what I was thinking. It's nerves. When he's nervous and he's anxious, he really doesn't not know what to do with his face. So the first thing that comes to his mind is to smile and to laugh. And I understand that. However, when you're on television and everyone can see what your reaction is to the things that you're doing and the reaction that your girlfriend has to the things that you're doing to her, and you're sitting there smiling after you tell her that you got an STD, after you tell her that you cheated on her, after you tell her all these bad things that you wanted
Hmm.
to do with her, after you're laughing or smiling in her face, asking her if you could marry her mother. It's
That's
crazy to me that
right.
he's okay with allowing that to be shown on national television.
Mm.
They also brought one of Lauren's exes on. Basically, his ex tried to say that, where he's very gullible, the main reason why he got a one-way trip to the Philippines was because he got scammed. He met another
Uh-huh.
trans woman who actually didn't end up being a trans woman, and got him over there to that country, stole money from him, and left him out there high and dry. And then thereafter is when he ended up meeting Faith while he was over there in the Philippines, and that's where they started their relationship. But Faith, I didn't feel like Faith was able to speak for herself in the most
Mm-mm.
confident of ways. It seems
No.
as though Faith is uncomfortable on television as well. Even though I'm glad that she's confident enough to be on television, because when you're on television, especially as a trans woman or trans man for that matter, or any type of LGBTQIA, you're putting yourself out there for the world to
Mhm.
scrutinize you and for the world to say, give their opinions of you. And so I'm glad that Faith did not run away from the tell-all. I'm glad that Faith was still there. But I wish that Faith was able to speak for herself a little bit better and a little bit more confidently. Dustin, what did you think of Faith and Lauren's segment, and what did you think of the not only the women on the panel but the men as well, trying to get Lauren, because Niles went in on Lauren, saying that you're two things that I hate most in people. You're evil and you're something else. I think it might have been manipulative or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So what did you think of their segment, Dustin?
I didn't think too much of the segment, Jonathan. I just uh because it was really this tell all was really a way that I didn't expect it to go. It really went the way that I didn't want it to go. But it really surprised me with all of these some of these, uh, especially Lauren and her. I don't think Lauren and yeah. See, I don't think it went. I don't think it went the way I expected it to go. It went the way that I didn't want it to go at the point, because it really showed me that some of these people need to be more careful when they're in a relationship on
Mm-hmm.
TV, and they need to pick. They need to make for sure that they are happy, because I always say, if you're not happy, then why be in this? If you're not happy, then why be? Because you're gonna be miserable, and I don't want these people to be miserable on here. And I think that some of these people are miserable on this TV show, and it really it proves it to me, especially this season of this 90 Day Fiance. It really proves it to me that people need to be more just need to be more open and honest with these people, so that these things don't happen this way. Because I see a lot of surprises in the tell-all that I didn't expect to see. See, and I didn't understand. I understand it, but it's just really surprising to me to see this side of these people like this.
Right, Lady
Honestly, I
Virgo.
didn't. honestly, I didn't expect it. So,
Yeah.
I,
Lady Virgo says down in the comments, I liked Vanya also. I feel so bad for her. Yeah, I felt bad for her as well, Lady Virgo. Lady
mhm.
Virgo also says that that Lauren said that the that drug dealers got a hold of the package and allegedly stole the ring, which I don't know if I necessarily believe
I
that
don't
at
believe that part. No, I don't believe that
all.
part.
I choose not to believe that. And I also want to mention that I was very annoyed with Brian during this
Me
tell-all
too.
because the fact that he was literally trying to hammer home this narrative that these women are getting in relationships with these American men in order to come over to America to have a better life. And so he kept asking,
Mhm.
Lauren, well, do you think Faith was with you because you're sending money to her? Because Lauren said that he was sending money to her family and that he even said he was going to buy her family a house, which I don't know exactly how Lauren would be able to afford a house for Faith and her family. Maybe in the Philippines, money doesn't go as long as it does, or money goes further in the Philippines than it does
Money goes,
in
yeah, money goes
America.
further. Money goes further in the Philippines, Jonathan.
Right,
Things are
and that
things
that
are
would make
cheaper.
sense, but
Things are cheaper in the Philippines than they are in
But but
America.
for Brian to allude to the fact or to the thought that he thinks that Faith is just with Lauren to get money out of him,
Mhm.
if you I I guess maybe that's not an unreasonable question considering who we're
Right.
dealing with here. I'm trying to choose my words wisely because I really
We're
don't
dealing
want
with
to.
we're dealing with Brian, so it really
Right.
don't surprise me that Brian even said this stuff
Right. And it
about these
seems
people.
and it seems like he'll be throwing Ingrid under the bus. And I
Right.
have a feeling I might have to just, fast forward through his segment with Ingrid because I know he's
Yeah.
just going to talk so much bad-ish about her, and I will not be able to take it at all. And
Mm-mm.
I would not be mad if Ingrid just got up and walked off of the set during their segment. But
Mhm.
I was a little furious with Brian for trying to insinuate that these women are with these men just for their money.
The money.
Robin says down
Right.
in the comments, I dozed off. I'm here now. We're glad that you're here, Robin. Let us know what you're thinking of these couples on this tell-all. Let us know
Yeah.
what you're thinking, girl. We want your opinion, Miss Thang. Um, Lady Virgo says down in the comments, I don't believe Lauren either. Okay. He is
Don't
also a hot mess right along with the rest of the men on this show. Well, the rest of the men, I wouldn't make a blanket statement like that, Lady Virgo, because I do like Sunny, and maybe it might be an unpopular opinion, but I like Adnan as well. Like they're my
so do
two
I.
favorite men,
But,
and I like Joe too, even though
yeah.
Joe's not the best. And Robin, did you notice that Sean brought up the fact that he was calling Magna the entire season, and he tried to make some excuse as well, they call Magda something else in wherever she lives. So I didn't really pay attention to it, and she wasn't correcting me, which is another thing that I was interested that was I was very curious about the fact
Mhm.
that Magda never corrected Joe when he would mispronounce her name. But
Right.
anyways, I was just really frustrated with Brian and the audacity and gall he had to try to push again this narrative that these women are just using these men for their money. Now, just because
Mhm.
that's something that women might have done with him being, the D dealer, the DRUG dealer that he used to be, which is probably the reason why he's in a wheelchair now. Maybe women, that's what he's used to when it comes to women, but that's not every
Yeah.
woman on this show or in the world for that matter. And so I think Brian has to take a step
I
back
mean,
and understand that
I, I,
everyone's not the same.
I do want to say that a lot of these, a lot of uh, people are not rich. We
Right.
rich in America, and
Exactly.
he's sitting there applying that people, all these people are rich, and I can tell you, Jonathan, and I'm not rich, not
Me
one
either,
bit,
Justin.
and I don't like it when people say that all Americans are rich, because it's far away from the truth. It's not true, and I don't like it when he's sitting there talking about other people, especially Brian, because Brian's in a wheelchair, and so am I. Of course, as you know, Jonathan, things like that really aggravate
Right.
me, aggravate me to no end, because he puts people like me in a bad light. I
Makes you
said
look
this,
bad.
it makes me look bad because I can't help the way that I am. So,
Right.
and I can't stand somebody like that.
I
uh,
feel like Brian being
Brian,
partially
Brian is somebody that I would never want to be around. Uh, I can't handle it. I can't really handle Brian. I won't be able to handle it because the way the way I am, stuff like that. I can't handle somebody like that. Mm.
I think Brian being partially paralyzed gave him a boost in his ego and gave him a boost in his entitlement to the world, thinking that the world owes him something when the world owes you nothing, Brian. The world owes none of us anything. We're all here. We're all on the same level. We're all in this thing together, Brian. You are no better than the next person, the next man, or the next woman.
Hmm.
Anyways, back to Lauren and Faith. Um, at the end of
Right.
the day, I hope that Faith gets rid of Lauren, loses all contact with Lauren, and
I
finds
hope
true
so
love. Because
too.
I really believe that Faith can try and find true love in the Philippines with a man who will love her and accept her for who she is. But Lauren also revealed sort of kind of a kink. That is a kink out there that others have. You know, he likes to drink bodily fluids. I won't exactly say what the bodily fluid was, but I'm assuming
Mm,
y'all, if y'all saw the tell-all, y'all understand what it is, and I just don't want to say it
mm.
out loud on camera. To put it straightforward, that does not surprise me whatsoever. That Lauren likes to
Can
drink
we
that. Like
can we
you
just
know,
say can we just say it was nasty? I won't say
yes.
I won't say what it is. I won't
Well,
say what it is.
nasty to maybe some. It's nasty to some, but others enjoy it. And you know, if that's
Mm,
what you like, so be it. There's a whole community of people who like doing that, and if that's what y'all like to do, do it do it till you can't do it no more. I'm here for y'all having the fun that you guys like to have. Just don't bring it nowhere near me. I don't want it
well,
on me. I don't want to see it to just keep it away from me. But if you want to do it with your partner and that's how y'all get down, so be it. Go for it. It's legal. You know what I'm saying? You're not hurting nobody by doing it. And you know, if that's what you like, then that's what you like. There's a whole section of that on certain websites, you know what I'm saying, for just that. And so clearly it's something that people do. And so, you know, it's not I'm just saying that it's not a surprise to me that Lauren likes to ingest that bodily fluid. But you know, it
right.
is what it is. And I thought the Fate's reaction to that was hilarious. And you know, she really took it as a joke. To be honest, I'm not sure if she thought that Lauren was serious about that. I believe that Lauren was serious about it, but hey, to each his own. If that's what you do, so be it. I'm not going to judge you for it, honey. I'm not going to judge you for it because, you know,
No,
we all have our certain kinks. We all have our certain things that, you know, may not be the norm to everyone. But you know, you like what you like, and that's all there is to it. Um,
right.
but I did like the fact I did like the fact that Niles was trying to hold Lauren's feet to the fire. I did appreciate him basically saying, "Brother, you are acting as though you don't care about your woman. You're acting as though you don't really love your woman." And the thing is, like, I have a feeling like I just don't understand what Lauren is getting out of this relationship with
Mm,
Faith. I really don't understand what he's getting out of the relationship. And it seems like, you know, he might be the B in the LGBTQIA because, you know, his ex seemed to be a biological woman to me. And I was really surprised at how much she loves him because she was really sticking up for him on that stage because everyone was against Lauren and she was the
mhm.
only one that was kind of, you know,
Including
speaking up for
myself.
him. Right, exactly, including both
Including
of us,
myself.
Dustin.
Right.
So I'm glad that he at least has someone on his side with that.
Right.
But let's move on to Adnan and Tiger Lily. So Tiger Lily
Yes.
She has had their child. She gave birth to their child. Their child is
Congratulations.
so cute. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to both of them, Adnan and Tiger Lily. Adnan is now in the States. He said that the visa process went by really swiftly. I don't know if that's because Tiger Lily got some money and maybe Adnan, I'm sure Adnan got some money as well. And so I'm not sure if the money is what made them get on the fast track for him getting a visa to be able to be in America. But he is in America nonetheless. I'm so happy for them. Tiger Lily, the way that Joe, I think it was either Joe or Vanya who was actually pointing out the fact that Tiger Lily wasn't as vocal
It
about
was Vanya.
Adnan and his controlling ways as she was
Vanya.
in her confessionals during the actual season itself. And I thought that might have been telling because she might feel closer to Adnan, or she just wanted to protect Adnan because she might have known that everyone would kind of be on him for being so controlling, which I don't think that Adnan was really that controlling with her. I mean, yes, he has preferences. And even Tiger Lily had a conversation with Adnan's mother saying that, Adnan really, doesn't do this for religion. This is just his preference for his woman. And if you don't want to do all that, then don't be with the man. But, Tiger Lily be okay with it. Brian pointed out the fact that she was all covered up, but Tiger Lily had to tell him, well, I did just have a baby. We could all, tell that she still has her baby weight on her. She wasn't as small as she was during the actual season. Happens to every woman who has a child. You put on a couple pounds. It is what it is. It's natural. You know what I'm saying? No one's faulting you for that. But I thought that Adnan was so defensive. However, Adnan had to be defensive because Niles and Brian and a little bit of Joe, they were kind of getting on Adnan for being controlling. But as I told, Dustin backstage before we went live, I felt like they were putting 20 on 10 when it comes to Adnan and his controlling ways. Again, that it's almost like that they were.
I feel like they kind of took it to the next level, Jonathan, and I don't think it was meant to be to the next level. I don't think it should have been to the next level like that. I think that he didn't deserve that on the tell-all part. I don't think that I don't think that he got his feelings out. I don't think that he got across to a lot of people on this tell-all. I think that they seen how he acted towards her during the regular season, and they personally painted their own picture of how he's going to be on this tell-all, and he didn't really get to say what he wanted to say on the tell-all. Part one, I don't know how it's going to go for the rest of the parts, but I don't think that he really got to say what he wanted to say. And I think that they basically shut him down, and I don't think he deserved to be shut down like that.
Here's my thing with Adnan. If Adnan wanted to be controlling, he could make Tiger Lily put on a hijab or a head wrap or cover her face, or tell her when she can talk and when she can't talk, what to answer and what not to answer. Like that's a controlling man. You know what I'm saying? Like those controlling men that used to be on Maury, and they would bring out the policemen and they would take them to and they would take them to a funeral home, so they would see what would happen to their wives or their girlfriends if they continue to be controlling or abusive. Or excuse me, or be I'm like, what can I say? What can I say on YouTube? But to be very controlling and to be in like a domestic issue, or be violent in any type of way. But he's not that whatsoever. Also, I love the fact that Adnan told Brian, why would I listen to anything that you got to say when you are in a wheelchair because of your actions, sir? I love the fact that Adnan told Brian that to his face. And then Sean Robinson's going to ask him, did you tell Brian that you weren't going to listen to him because he was in a wheelchair? Adnan said, yes, absolutely, and did. So what of it? You know what I'm saying? Like Adnan is his own man. And plus Adnan is still in his 20s. And so his character and his personality and his actions really, really show how young he is. But again, like I'm completely okay with that. I am completely okay with Adnan. Apparently, Tiger
Okay.
Lily has no issues with the way that Adnan is in their relationship. And if Tiger Lily is okay with it, then everybody else can be okay with it as well. And then Niles was really going overboard with Adnan. And, then Adnan asked Matilda a question. And, she said she will be with she will be with Niles regardless. She loves Niles for who he is. Um, but I thought that they were aggressive with Adnan, and they really had a plan to get under his skin and make that be the drama for the show. And I
Right.
honestly did not appreciate that, and that's the reason why Adnan
I
got
didn't
up
either.
and left off the set because y'all are doing too much. Like I did not appreciate that whatsoever. What did you think of
Right.
the way that they were treating Adnan during this entire first
I
part of the
didn't like
tell-all,
it.
Justin?
I didn't like it, not one bit, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
You and I are on the same page as always. I did not like that one bit. You don't treat somebody like that. I don't care who it is. Uh, if it's somebody that I don't, you're on a TV show with other people, other cast members, and they have stories to tell on the show, and they have to be on the tell all. So you can basically get through the tell all without saying what you said to no, and how you treated him. I do not like the way that he was treated on this episode so far. This tell all, and I don't and I'm really preparing myself for next week, part two, because I really want to see how he gets treated on part two of the tell all, because I think it was very I think it was very miscalled for the way they treated both of them, not and Tiger Lily. If she's happy, I'm happy, and if and at the end of the day, Jonathan, it's their relationship. So if
Right.
they don't like it, they have to change it. We can't change it for them. But if they're happy, and then that's all that matters to me. So it's like, if you're
It,
happy, then you stay in it. If you're not happy, then you leave.
Exactly. And Tiger Lily had no issues whatsoever with the way that Adnan was treating her. And Tiger Lily, even though, the way that she was talking during the season made it seem as though she probably did have an issue with it. But maybe Adnan and Tiger Lily had a conversation and said, you know what, this is the way our relationship is going to go, either take it or leave it. And it's apparently Tiger Lily has decided to take it. And, she's okay with it. Again, right now, maybe during the season, it didn't seem like she was okay with it, but right now she's okay with it. So if she says she has no issues, then let the girl and the man be. Let them be and let them be happy.
Mhm.
It is what it is. Anyways, we then get started with Niles and Matilda. We don't get it fully into their segment, but Sean's first question is, you guys haven't seen each other in 10 or 11 months. And so you promised your representative while you were over in Africa that you would have Matilda in the States within
5 months.
months.
Hmm.
And that hasn't happened yet. 5 months has come and gone.
No.
And Niles explained that, it takes money. And that's what we were saying this entire season. Niles is not going to be able to have the funds to bring Matilda over. And not only to bring
Nope.
her over, but to be able to support her while she's living over here in America.
Mm-mm.
Another thing that got on my last nerve, Dustin, at the beginning of the tell all, when Niles was in the car heading to the studio and he was on the phone with Matilda
And
and he
kissing
kept
the phone.
saying, yes, and he
He
kept
took.
saying, squishy, squishy.
Oh God.
That was so immature and so
Mm-mm.
childlike. And
No.
it was like, it made my skin crawl to hear him say that
Mm-mm.
about her. And I don't know if Matilda just thinks that that's just an American thing. No, that's just a very immature thing. Um, that turned me off from Niles altogether. Like
Yeah.
that should have been my warning that
Me too.
that Niles was going to be on one for this tell all. And then we saw in the preview for the next part of the tell all that Niles is going to get in Adnan's face, take off his glasses, eyes bulging out of his head, child, and
Let me,
saying, people from America, what people from America do to men like you, like Niles. Calm down, calm down. You are not that man. You are not that one that's gonna go. I don't think Niles got
Mhm.
hands. I wouldn't want to see Niles in a fight because I would fully expect him to lose that fight. Like Niles, like you're
He's definitely gonna lose a fight. If he's in a fight, he's gonna lose one.
especially
Um,
with Adnan, because I think
yeah,
Adnan knows how to throw hands. I think
he does.
Adnan might do something to Niles, and Niles would regret
Now,
ever
now,
ever agreeing to do anything like that with Adnan. And I'm sure there was no fisticuffs. I'm sure there was no fight between them, but Niles really like I said to Dustin before we started recording, Niles really showed his ass during this tell-all, and I did not appreciate it whatsoever. And it
mhm.
makes me feel like maybe he was just putting on during the season and this might be the real him. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know
Well,
whatsoever.
I want to say something real quick, Jonathan.
Hmm.
I think that he was putting on for the show.
Mm.
I do believe there's people that are on this show that are good actors, in my opinion, and I think he's a good actor. I think we're seeing how he really is when cameras are not ruling, and
Hmm.
we're actually seeing him at the tell-off with the way he really is. So I don't think that I, I think that's totally him on a regular day basis, and I think that we're just now seeing it because uh, this is a tell-off. So of course we're gonna see what we didn't see at the on the regular season, but it's just I'm just really shocked to see that side of him. Um, and I don't think, and it's pretty bad when the network has to step in to break up the both of the people that's trying to start start a fight uh on the show. I mean, that is just downright crazy, Jonathan, for the network to have to step in like that.
Right. Lady Virgo said down in the comments, darn sure is. Only 1 to 2% of America is actually considered rich. They're all, I'm sorry, they are all different. Excuse me, different income status of Americans. Yes, we're all on different pages, but that is the typical thought of Americans when it comes to those who live outside of America. That we are the land of gold and honey. Apparently, we're the land of the riches, and it's like,
And we're not.
no, that's not it. We might have some of the richest people in the world that live in America, but that doesn't mean that everyone is sharing in that wealth. Um, but it is what it is. I'd have to say that overall, I don't know if I necessarily enjoyed this particular part one of the tell-all,
What do
especially
you?
considering the way that Niles was acting, and especially considering the way that Brian was trying to push this narrative of these women using these men for their money. I did not appreciate that at
Mhm.
all, and I wish that Brian was not there whatsoever. Lady Virgo down in the comments says Vanya was
Nobody better.
trying to really explain to him what is really is. Lauren was describing the bodily fluids. Ooh, the bodily fluids act all wrong. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
that's the thing, Lady Virgo. I don't know if he just said that for shock value because he says a lot of things for shock value. He even said on this tell-all that he would jump off a cliff if someone told him to do it. Like it's Lauren just says anything that will get him a meme or get him a sound bite or something of that nature. Like Lauren is just here for the cameras, and I don't appreciate that whatsoever. I like the people who are there to just show their genuine love for one another. I don't like those people who are on camera just to be on camera. Same thing that goes with Brian. I think Brian is just on camera just for his ego. He just wants to be seen to the world as this big boss man who's able to call the shots and be able to, run things and all that kind of stuff. I'm not here for
Mhm.
it whatsoever.
I think he's
Um,
on. I think Brian's on the camera for ego and money.
right.
Uh, I don't think he's on the show for any other reason than ego and money, and I just can't get across to that. I can't. I'm the type of person that I can't handle that kind of stuff. I just can't handle it. And like I said, it puts people like me in a bad light, Jonathan. It really does, and it just really aggravates the 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 living daylights out of me. It really does. It really does aggravates me to the breaking point.
Yeah, Brian's behavior is honestly disgusting to me, and I do not want to see him on another season of 90 Day Fiance whatsoever. Lady
Nope.
Virgo says down in the comments, Tiger Lily, Adnan, and Niles' voices had me in tears last night. I cannot take Tiger Lily's voice. Yeah, Tiger Lily is definitely putting on that, little girl type of voice, where she's in her 40s, but she wants to sound like she's still in high school. It's like, Tiger Lily, you're not fooling no one. Let your hair do the young talking for you. Don't let your voice. And the thing is, I don't even. I agree with you, Lady Virgo, on that fact. I'm not here for Tiger Lily's voice, but it is what it is. That's how she wants to present to the world, and so that's how she's going to present to the world. But yeah, we'll see what happens in part two. Dustin, why don't you go ahead and give us your social media contacts real quick?
My social media contacts is Dustin Butler 700. My Instagram and my Facebook is Dustin Butler. I want to thank Jonathan as always and my whole team, Jennifer and Tyrone McCollum for being backstage. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Love you very much.
You're very welcome, Dustin. Love you as well. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, press the like button, leave a comment, let us know your thoughts on the first part of the tell-all. Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody out here know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. For those of you guys who did not catch it, I did post a review on Hell's Kitchen Season 23, episode 12. I posted that earlier today, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. Make sure you like it and give me your comments and your thoughts on this particular season of Hell's Kitchen. That's something that I've
By the
added to
way,
my repertoire.
By the way, great review. I like the review, so thanks for the review.
Thank you. I felt like this might be the first and last time I might be able to talk about Egypt. I hope Egypt does not go home next week, but I just have a feeling it's coming, and I just need to prepare myself for it. But anyways, I love you guys for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. Until then, y'all, hope y'all have a wonderful week. Stay warm out there and stay safe. Love you guys for watching. See you later, y'all.